Oh, Pinocchio time again. Anime Recap Guy is here to take you back to Totomizu. You do remember that last time Kotoko and Kuro had reached Tai's house, right? Let's see what the Goddess of Wisdom makes of the fish killer Pinocchio. Having heard the entire story from Tai, Kotoko admits to one thing that has stumped her. She says that dolls that move on their own accord and cause harm to others do not just come into being as easily as the town of Totomizo believes. Unless a doll maker puts its entire soul into making a particular doll, or spends enough time crafting it, it is not possible that a doll can cause such large-scale damage. Thinking about how the doll was made by just a novice, Kotoko says that such a doll being capable of shooting electricity from its hands was next to impossible. She admits that she can think of someone who could be behind all this, but Tai brushes off her worries and insists that Zenta's doll is nothing more than a Pinocchio embedded with a meteorite. Wait, say what now? So it seems that a decade ago Zenta was headed towards the mountains considering ending his life because of his illness. That is when he witnessed the meteorite lodged in a tree's branch. Wanting to keep the incident hidden, Zenta took the branch home. Surprisingly, staying in its vicinity got rid of his illness and made him better. Hearing this, Kotoko thinks about how meteorites have, since a long time ago, been given the high honor of being worshipped and of being miraculous. Kuro counters that a meteor cannot be responsible for a doll to move around shooting electricity. In response, Kotoko ponders that as Earth has the powers to make all kinds of monsters, there must be a similar power elsewhere in space as well. Tai recalls the time when she had gone over to Zenta's while he was carving the doll. She had asked him then if he hoped that the doll would replace the grandson he lost. Zenta had replied that the stone in his possession has the ability to make wishes come true. She also remembers warning Zenta about Pinocchio's story, in which the man who carved him had to go through hell. Zenta had just shrugged and said that he had been through hell when he lost his grandson. Back in the present, Kuro notes that it will be a bit of a task for Kotoko to handle something cosmically supernatural, to which she insists that she will need his help. Kotoko proceeds to ask Tai whether Zenta mentioned the purpose of him making the doll. Tai responds by saying that he had hoped that, much like Pinocchio, this doll would fulfill his wishes. So, Zenta definitely hatched some kind of revenge hunting plan. Based on how the monsters attempted to tackle the doll before Kotoko's arrival, Tai is confident that it wouldn't be easy for the Goddess of Wisdom to take it down either. On the contrary, Kotoko replies that because the doll follows the same route to the beach every night, they can easily hide explosives in the sand to set a trap beforehand and lure it there. She says that even if they simply set the doll on fire, it will be destroyed. Tai is shocked to know that she couldn't think of such a simple solution. Yeah, wooden doll, fire, boom. Anyone getting a too good to be true vibe here? At Tai's disbelief, Kotoko explains her understanding of the entire scenario. She says that it is unbelievable that such an easy answer could be the solution to the town's problem. She ponders over how the doll meant purely for revenge has not headed directly to the person that was responsible for the death of Zenta's grandson. Out of the 4 students in the car that hit Zenta's grandson, it was only the driver that was indicted. Additionally, since the driver showed remorse for the crime, he was even released after paying off damages. Kotoko points out that it must not have counted for enough, as per Zenta's grieving heart. She also adds that as there has been no news about any of the 4 college students having met with mysterious attacks, the doll surely has not caused them any harm yet. Okay, well, that's one somewhat horrible way of looking at things here. With the help from all the monsters, a trap is laid for the doll at the beach that night. Meanwhile, Tai speaks to Kuro about his ability of coming back to life after dying. While he insists that Kotoko can possibly manage to destroy the doll without his help, Kotoko herself gets there to announce that the doll has arrived. She informs him of the location of the trap they built so they can lure the doll there. While Kuro walks directly in the path of the doll, Kotoko thinks back to earlier that day when she spoke to him about Tai and how dolls have a history of being created for magic. Elaborating on cursed dolls, Kotoko had mentioned the ritual of the Ox Hour Visit, wherein a straw doll is nailed to a tree to harm a victim by attaching the victim's belongings to the doll. This could include a picture of the victim on the doll or the names written on it, or even using their hair to wrap around the doll or nails embedded within the doll. When stabbed with nails, such a cursed doll would mean that the targeted victim feels the pain exactly in the same places as the nails. Oh, things sure are getting kinda dark magic-y around here, aren't they? Kotoko says that while Zenta might have a grudge against the college students and even the people of this town, he did not actually have the courage to kill people and take responsibility for it. This is why he thought to blame the town for the deaths of the college students by somehow connecting them to this doll. This way, frustrated by the doll's antics, when the town bands together to destroy the doll, it would result in the death of the college students. So, the plan is to first get rid of whatever connects the doll to the students, and then destroy it. Alrighty. Back at the beach, Kuro is zapped with electricity, courtesy of our wooden boy. Even as Tai looks over, shocked, Kuro wakes up and begins running towards the trap, narrowly avoiding a series of zaps, but ultimately gets hit again, and again. Signaling the monsters when the doll gets to the trap, Kuro selects a course of action for its future. Fallen into the trap, the doll attempts to zap everything that's moving, but its hand is roped off and held secure by the monsters. This allows Kuro to inspect the doll closely to find the connections it has to the college students. He finds a bunch of names carved into the doll, 4 of which he recognizes as those of the college students. The 5th name shockingly turns out to be none other than Tai. Somehow, having expected such a thing, Tai says that she knew Zenta never liked that she was happy in her life. Knowing that she might feel some pain like the college students, she asks Kuro to simply scrape the names off the doll. As Kuro finishes scraping, Tai reports having felt absolutely nothing. This leads her to conclude that Zenta's hatred possibly did not go as far as to actually activate the curse that he intended to befall the students and the town. Kotoko also realizes that her entire plan was completely meaningless if the college students were going to remain unharmed anyway. Well, at least the menace of Pinocchio has ended. Over breakfast the next morning, Tai speaks to Kotoko and Kuro about how she had initially felt it was her duty to sacrifice herself to destroy the doll and save the town. She expresses her disappointment in having had such heroic thoughts about her existence when it wasn't a difficult task to get rid of the doll in the first place. Dismissing Tai's sadness, Kotoko assures her because of Tai that she is enjoying her breakfast that morning. Leaving town a while later, Kotoko informs Kuro that the meteorite is giving off a power that doesn't seem very impressive. She tells him that instead of the meteorite lending power to the doll, it could be that Tai's subconscious thinking of sacrificing herself to save the town was responsible for making it more powerful than Zenta's grudge ever could. Well, that's a good-ish lesson for today. I guess if you've got a good life, do not let your overthinking mind power a Pinocchio. Anyway, here's Anime Recap Guy saying bye-bye till next time.